Okay, you want to know something that is really crazy to me? In 10 days, we're going to be in Gainesville, in Florida, for the start of the season, for the first day of qualifying, that just blows my mind. And I was sitting here thinking about that. I thought, well, this would be a perfect time to go over the top 10 moments of our 2022 season as we get ready for 2023, because 2022 was a great season for us. It was my first year working full-time on the car, being at nearly every single race, and it was a lot of fun. We made a lot of good memories, so I figure we might as well remember that before we go into 2023. So, my number 10 top moment from 2022 was my friends getting to come visit in Phoenix. So, I'm in a school program with Arizona State University where most of my friends are online because I do all my school online, and I'm traveling around so much that I make friends in different places around the world. So in Phoenix is where a bunch of my friends are from school. So it was really cool that weekend to have them come out and get to see the racing and just get to hang out with us for the weekend. That was a lot of fun. 9th favorite moment from 2022, it actually took me a while to come up with this, but every time I think of Denver this year, Denver's my favorite track on the circuit, hands down. But every time I think of Denver, I think of Dad sitting up on top of the car after the first qualifying session, just over the moon, because the car was like going. It really, really wanted to go. And I just remember that. That was so, so, so cool. And a couple of other my friends were there that weekend and got to come on the line with us and come hang out with us, which was really cool. Seventh on my list, I have the time when we took our race car apart in John Force's parking lot. That was such a cool, unique experience that Dad's done before, I'm sure, but it was just something so surreal. We're here in arguably the greatest drag racer ever's parking lot, taking apart a race car, which was really, really fun. Seventh off, we have Bristol. Bristol was a rough weekend, not gonna lie. We didn't have Heather there, we didn't have Austin there, and we had like half the people that we normally do, and we were running both cars. So it was basically me, Steve, and Ray servicing the car. Dad was tuning, but there wasn't a lot of people there. It was a rough weekend, but we still managed to get through it and work through it. It took some late nights, and I made a really good video that weekend that I'm still really proud of. Maybe some of the camera lenses should have been cleaned a little bit, but that was a really good weekend, and I'm really proud of the video that I made that weekend.
Summer like healing.
Sixth on my list, I have Epping as a whole, which was the weekend before Bristol. And the reason I liked that weekend so much is that was the last weekend that Austin was there full time, and that just, it seemed like I don't even remember what we ran, to be honest, but the new Northeast is so pretty and so nice up there. We got to go visit my grandma, and that entire week, it just seems like was a really good week with everybody being there, and it was just a really fun race, which you always gotta love.
There's a place I have never been, on the cover of a magazine, alright.
Fifth on the list, we have Indy. Now, in Sonoma, we had a very, 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 very rough weekend. And because of that, we skipped Seattle, we skipped Topeka, we skipped Brainerd, and we just ended up going to Indy. And that weekend in Indy, when Friday night, first qualifying session, when we went out and everything was lit, candles were lit, it was awesome. That was like so rewarding being back, because it was really hard getting back from what happened in Sonoma. And that weekend, my YouTube also seemed to take like a jump. I got like 2,500 views on a video in the first like 3 hours, which was really cool. Next up, number 4, we have the Gainesville first round win. Now, funny story behind the first round win. The first time Austin let me put a head on the car was the night before. And then we won first round, and I was thrown into servicing the car all the way with Austin when we had to replace a motor, replace heads, or headers, or I think it was heads that we had to put new heads on. And that was my second time just servicing the car, like, all the way through, period. I had been taking it apart with him, but I hadn't gotten to put it back together. And that was, like, trial by fire. But it was really cool getting to do that, and winning rounds is always awesome. That was actually the first round I had ever won with Dad.
Oh, Alexis had to pedal it! And Alexis gets over the center line, and Terry won the race anyway. Terry Haddock goes 4:09.4, 290 miles an hour. Alexis rattled, pedaled, put a cylinder out, pushed over, and punched out the finish line blocks. Her 4:25, 284 miles an hour, got there second anyway.
For Terry Haddock, that 4:09 is good enough for a win light. When you have to go back to the pits, you've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to get this car turned around. How do you manage everything that has to happen to get back up to the line?
You know what? We're so blessed to be here, and I just want to say thanks to God and everybody that lets us do this. All my friends, my family, sponsors, Priority Systems, Chip Lofton for Vitamin C Energy. I mean, so many people let me do this. You ask how we do it, we just bear down and we work because we have no other choice. You know, someday we're going to get a chance to do it with a budget and do it like everybody else. I don't mind working on the car. I love it. When I started all this, all I ever wanted to be was a driver. I don't mind working on the car. I don't mind tuning on it. It's fun, but driving is a lot of fun, and win lights are so cool. Thank you, everybody.
Third on the list, we have getting into the Vegas show. Now, what happened after we got in the show isn't as fond of, but we got into the Vegas show on, like, just barely, and the like ecstaticness, or whatever the word, the joy that we were all feeling after we got in was like amazing. We were all so happy. We were so proud of ourselves. Dad made an interview up there at the top end that nearly made me cry. I remember that. I was riding back on the scooter, and he nearly made me cry with that. And It did come all crashing down 2 hours later when they came and told us we were disqualified, but we don't got to talk about that. The part from we made it into the next hour and a half was fantastic, and that was probably one of my favorite moments from the entire season.
.412 shutting off. Oh, man. Terry Haddock, flames went down, and I thought, no. But 4.126 puts Terry Haddock in the number 16 spot.
Haddock will be racing on Sunday, and Terry, we all know how hard you work at this, and for those moments when you hear those words, racing on Sunday eliminations, what does that do for you?
Well, that makes our day. I got to say thank you to God, because without him, we can't do any of this. It's my son's birthday this weekend. He's going to be 16, and I want to say happy birthday, son. I love you very much. One thing I want him to learn from all this that I do, because I don't always make sense, but I want him to learn to never, ever give up. You keep trying. You give it everything you got. You put your heart and soul into your dreams, because it's worth it.
Second on my list, we have Reading, where we got Dad's career best mile an hour. Now, that weekend was also really awesome. It was the first race Tyler got to come to. Austin was there, and it just seems like it's always better when all your people are there. But getting Dad's record mile an hour, and the car just wanted to go all weekend that weekend, it was awesome. Just getting the record mile an hour when we were driving down there, that was so cool. When we were driving down to pick Dad up from the top end, that was really cool having it be his career record mile an hour.
Let it go. Chasing a dream. Don't let it go. Chasing a dream.
And the first best moment from the 2022 season, and I might be a little bit biased, is Monday after Vegas when Dad put me in the funny car for the first time. It feels like that had been in the works for so long, and Dad had been Mr. Miyagiing me forever, that getting to do it was just unreal. Got to go out and do a big, awesome burnout. All my people were there, and it was just a lot of fun.
With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Might makes right, so he said.
That's cool, you know. So my professional race car driver, McKailen Haddock.
But as we close that list off, we are 10 days from qualifying in Gainesville, which I can't wait. This is going to be the best season yet. We're working to make 2023 our season. We want to win a race this year. We've got so many things in the works behind the scenes that you guys will see as it comes out over the year. But until then, let's go racing and never give up.